Hi guys, my name is Terry. In this video, I'm going to go through the SPM trial paper 2024 for SBP Sekolah Berasrama Penuh, and this is paper 2. Okay, let's begin with the first question. This is from the chapter System Equation from chapter 3. So we have a straight line here that touches the curve. This straight line has gradient of 1. It cuts the y-axis at 0,7. It touches this curve at 1 point. So you're supposed to find a coordinate of point K, right? Okay, number 1. What is the equation straight line? Now we know the gradient is 1. So m equals to 1. And you know your y-intercept is 7. So you don't have to use the coordinate geometry method that you learned in Form 4. Just use the method that you learned in Form 3. Form 3, chapter 9, the straight line. That is, the equation of straight line is actually y equals mx plus c. Since your m is 1, your c is 7, your straight line has equation of y equals to x plus 7. Yeah, very simple equation to form. Now, this straight line, it will cut the curve. The curve is x squared plus y minus 3 square equals to 8. Yeah, equation number 2. Now, some people expand first. You can, but I think it's easier to just sub equation 1 inside equation 2 right away. So here we have x squared plus your y is x plus 7 minus 3 square equals to 8. Your x squared plus x plus 4 square equals to 8. Expand both sides. Expand the bracket. This is x squared plus x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals to 8. You can simplify further, add them together. You get 2x squared plus 8x plus 8. Now, notice we can divide everything by 2. This will be x squared plus 4x plus 4. We can use the factorization of, this is a squared plus b, 2ab plus b squared. We can factorize this into a plus b squared. I know I have to factorize this way because the question already says it touches 1 point. So you have only one real root. Always say real and equal root. So as I factorize this, I'll get x plus 2 squared equals to 0. So your x is just negative 2. So once I got my x value, I need to find my y value. I sub inside equation number 1. My y is now minus 2 plus 7. Answer is 5. So the coordinate point K is just x followed by y. We write minus 2, 5. Okay, moving on to question number 2. This is from the chapter Coordinate Geometry from 4, chapter 7. Okay, so here we start off with the diagram. You're given triangle ABC. Such a point D lies on the triangle, and there is a locus of moving point P. Such a distance from point A is always 4.5 units. So you're supposed to find equation of locus of P. So I think we can just write A to P is constantly 5. Use the formula for distance, square root of x minus 2 square plus y minus 5 square. The result is 4.5. So I'm going to square both sides. When I square the left-hand side, I got x squared plus 4x plus 4. This will be y squared minus 10y plus 25. 4.5 squared is 2.25. It's actually 9 over 2. You square it. You can actually just change it, right? Like, okay, maybe I type for you 4.5. You can see it's 9 over 2. You square it, you get 81 over 4 or 20.25. Okay, I think I'll just write 81 over 4 because I would just multiply everybody by 4 to give a fraction. So as I multiply by 4, right, this is 4x squared minus 16x plus 16. This is 4y squared minus 40y plus 100. The result is 81. So let us just put them together. This is 4x squared plus 4y squared minus 16x minus 40y. All right. 100 minus 81 is 19. 19 plus 16, that is 35. You can't do mentally, just use your calculator. All right, that is the first part. Okay, next, for part B, you're given that 2AD is 3DC. So this is actually to help you to find the ratio. So if I take AD divide DC, I'll get 3/2. That means AD is 3, DC is 2. So we're going to use the ratio formula to find out the value of P and Q. Remember the ratio? Nx1 plus Mx2 over M plus N, followed by Ny1, My2 over M plus N. Okay, so let's begin with point Q. I take Q. Q is your X coordinate, -1 is your Y coordinate. So you can assign this is M, this is N, or the other one. That doesn't matter. The most important thing is that the ratio and the coordinate must be opposite. When you multiply, it must be opposite. So here we take 3 times -4 plus 2 times 2 divide by total ratio 2 plus 3. Then you continue with 3 times P, 2 times 5, total ratio 2 plus 3. So let's compare. Q equals, so this is -12 plus 4. You can use calculator brain, doesn't matter. Okay, divide by 5. And -1 is equal to 3P plus 10 divide by 5. Okay, so this is actually negative 10/2. Q is -2. And P, if you multiply over, it's not a nice number, -5. Okay, it is a nice number, plus 10. So P is -15/3, which is -3, right? So my P is -3, my Q is -2. Okay, let me see. I hope I didn't make any mistake here, right? Okay, I made a mistake here. Sorry, this is -12 plus 4, which is, Q is not a nice number, -8/5. Yeah, your P is a nice number. P is -3. All right. Sorry, -5. Okay, so next, we're going to move on to equation of a straight line that passes through point B perpendicular to AB. Okay, so let's look at this. A straight line that passes through point B perpendicular to AB, it would be, let me see whether I can squeeze in here, part C. It will be this line. Let me show you here. It's 90 degree, passes through here. So number one, we need to find out what is your gradient of AB. We can find gradient AB by using y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, -3/2. So that is AB. AB is perpendicular to the second line. The second line, we call the gradient as M2. M1 times M2 equals -1. When two lines are perpendicular, gradient times together must be -1. So my M2 is now positive 2/3. Now, you don't have to do y minus y1 and x minus x1 because we can just use y equals mx plus c because, again, we know the coordinate of point B is 0, 8. B is your y-intercept. So my y-intercept is 8, right? My y-intercept is 8. My gradient is 2/3. My equation straight line is 2/3x plus 8. That's all. Okay, question number 3. This is from Form 5, Chapter 1, Circular Measure. So diagram 2 shows a wow bulan, which is a combination of two sectors of circle, OABC and OPQ with center O. So given that the radius of OPQ is 10, this is 10, angle here is 61, and the line is a tangent. When a line is a tangent to a circle, right, that means it touches this circle at one point, and this will be 90 degree. The radius of this circle is 8, so we can split into 2, and therefore this angle here is 61 divided by 2. We can write 30.5. Okay, so we're supposed to find the first part, the perimeter of the entire diagram. So for the entire diagram, right, nothing to do with the circle inside. We just have to use length of this arc, the blue arc, plus the length of the red maybe I use red color, red up here, and then you add the 4 radius. So the first radius is this one, second is this one. Yeah, it's the same. Then let me use a different color, orange here and orange here. I think the radius of OA is not known, so we're going to find. Now we're going to use this right angle triangle here. So I can just draw like this. This is 90 degree. This will be 30.5. Since the radius is 8 cm, this 8 cm, we can use SOHCAHTOA to find the length of OM, or in this case OE lah. Yeah. Now OM is not really helpful. Why? Because if you find OM, right, let's say you found OM, you do not know the length of AM, sorry, but you can find the length of BE. BE is basically 8 cm. So by finding OE, right, and adding it with 8, I get the radius of the bigger sector. So let's find OE first by using sine. Sine is opposite. In this case, your opposite is 8 over hypotenuse OE, which is, yeah, what you're finding, right? So we write 8 over OE. Use your calculator. Now I'm going to type in my calculator here. Make sure calculator in degree mode. So sine 30.5, right? You bring it down, OE goes up. Maybe I would just take 8 divided by this answer, 15.76. Yeah, OE is 15.76. All right. Once you got your OE, we can find your OB. OB is 15.76 plus 8. That gives us 23.76. Okay, if I know this length, OB and OA, they are the same radius, so it's 23.76. I can now find the radius, the length of arc, and yeah, we can find the rest, right? So you're going to use 61 twice, 61 here, 61 here, and you need to convert to radian, and you may have to use it again in the second part. So I think I'll just call 61 theta, convert to radian. When you convert to radian, you need to multiply 3.142 over 180, right? Use your calculator, 61 times 3.142 over 180. Your answer is 1.065. I think you can use 4 SF. If you want to use more, also can. 1.0648. 1.065 will do that. Okay. Now, next, if you're finding perimeter, let's start by taking length of arc ABC. ABC, I think I'll write straight away. The radius is 23.76 times 1.065. Then length of arc PQ, the radius is 10 times 1.065 because they are both 61. They're both 61. And then you add the radius, the green one first. You have 2 of 23.76, 2 of 23.76, and you have 2 of 10. Yeah, the 10 is the orange part. So just add them together. Now, you can type one by one, but I think you can actually factorize this, right? The 23.76 and the 1.065, 1.065, you can just take it out, right? So I take it out. I would take 23 plus 10 is 33.76 times 1.065. If not, you can type in one by one, plus 2 of 23.76 plus times plus 10 again. 10. You can take out the 2. Again, I take out the 2. You can type in your own other way. 33.76 times 2. You will get 103.47. If you know the marking scheme gives this answer, but actually generally we say 4 significant figure would do. So 103.5. But if you use more, it's not a problem. You want to write more decimal point, is okay. All right, that is part A. So part B, you're supposed to find the area of the shaded region. Yeah, area shaded region. Okay, your area shaded region, right, consists of 2 parts. It's a bit long because you need to find this part. The second part is quite easy. The green part is quite easy. The yellow part is a bit longer. So first, we know this is 30.65. We can find this one. right? 90 degree minus, then you can find outside. But I want to show you a bit of shortcut. You probably learned this in your lower form, that if you have a triangle like this is your interior angle, this is your interior angle, this is another angle, this is your exterior. Your exterior C is the same as A plus B add together, right? A and B add together. See, this is your C, this C is your exterior, this is your interior, right? You can call it D. Opposite these two add together, A plus B equals to C. So I just want to cut short my working, don't do so long. I call this alpha. Your alpha would be 90 plus 30.5. 90 plus 30.5, which is 120.5. And I'm going to convert it to radians straight away. I multiply with 3.142 over 180. So 120.5 times 3.142 over 180, you should get 2.104. 103, yeah? 2.103, yeah? Okay, so in radian. Right. Now, once you got this 2.103, we can now take this sector here. This is a thin sector here. Okay, a bit hard to see. Let me draw once again. This is a thin sector. My line a bit off. This one is shorter, is smaller than this one. This is a big sector, right? This is half of it. You subtract this triangle, then you subtract this sector. Okay, so this is 30.5, which is half of 1.065, right? So my area will be half. Let's start by taking the radius is 23.76 square. Your theta will be 1.065 over 2 because it's half of it, right? Then you minus area of triangle. Now, here's the problem. I don't know the height of your triangle, right? I do know this is 8. I do know this is 15.76. Should I say I do not know the base? Yeah. So we can use Pythagoras theorem. So let me show you here. My OM is my base. We can use Pythagoras theorem, 15.76 square minus 8 square root. Yeah, let's count. Take the square root of 15.76. You square it, you minus 8 square. I got 13.58. Yeah, 13.58. Okay, so this is 13.58. I can now use half times base times height, which is half times 13.58 times 8. Then I minus the smaller sector over here. The smaller sector here has a radius of 8. Your angle is alpha, which is 2.0103. Then you add the bottom sector here. The radius is 10. The angle theta is 1.065. Okay, 1.065. Okay, let's count. Use your calculator. Okay, do one shot. 0.5 times 23.76 square times 1.065 over 2. Okay, then you minus half is 0.5 times 13.58 times 8 minus 0.5 times 8 square times 2.103. And I haven't finished yet. This is the first answer, right? But you got to add 0.5 times 10 square times 1.065. Okay, I got 81.94. Yeah, answer is 81.94. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, a bit long because you got to calculate both. Normally, we find one part only, but you got to add one more. Yeah, the bottom part. But it's not really that difficult. Okay. Okay, moving on to question number 4. This is from the chapter integration, right? So the first part is quite relatively easy. You're supposed to find integration of dt given this, your dt, d dt of t squared over 2 bracket 1 minus t is 2 gt. So basically, we just use the result of differentiation to find the integral. Okay, so remember when you differentiate the red one, let's say, you will get the green one. So when you integrate the green one, which is 2 gt dt, you will get the red one, which is t squared over 2 1 minus t plus c. So I'm going to divide everybody by 2. As I divide by 2, this will be 1 over 4. there's a 2. Okay, let me just write one extra step for you. This is t squared over 1 minus t plus c. Now, c is a constant, arbitrary constant that we don't know the exact value. So you don't have to write c over 2. You can just, sorry, there's another 2 in front. So there's another 2 in front. You don't have to write that c over 2. So I think I'll just write like this. This will be, therefore, t squared over 4, 1 minus t plus c. That's all. Very simple. Okay. All right. That's part A. Part B. Diagram show part of the graph of the curve y equals fx and y equals gx intersecting at point P. All right. Here on the diagram, sketch the region rounded, represented by integration of 0 to a gx dx minus 0 to a fx dx. Now, gx is on top. Maybe I highlight for you. Gx is on top, fx is below. Gx is the red one. Fx is the, let me change the color, blue one. So when you take the red one and you integrate, you move it down towards the x-axis. So the shape looks like this. If you take the blue one, you integrate, you move it down towards the x-axis. So the shape looks like this. And what you will get is the area bounded by these two, which is the green part. So let me just shade it with green color. So this is the area of the shaded region represented by this. And they share the same limit 0 to a over here. So it's quite easy. 1 mark, 3 marks for student. All right. Then determine the coordinate of point P. Okay, point P, right? Okay, let me just move a bit. P is the intersection between these two functions, fx and gx. So we basically let, this is B Roman 2, Roman 1 really shown here. We let your fx 3x squared equals to your gx 2x squared plus 1. So bring it over, x squared is now 1, square root, x is 1. Now, do you have to put plus minus? No need, because x is what? X is more than 0. It's on the right-hand side, yeah? So the coordinate is 1. Then you need to find your y value. You sub inside any of this equation, either fx or gx. I think I put inside fx, 3, 1 square. I get 3. Therefore, the coordinate of point P is 1, 3. Okay, we're done. Okay, the strange part I find about this question is that, when we do this, right, we anticipate that, well, we're going to use the result of point P to find the volume for the last part. Okay, find the volume revolution in terms of pi when the region bounded by the curve. Where's the curve? The curve gx is the red one, right? Okay, this one I rub it off. Oh, okay, shouldn't rub it off. This is your answer. Okay, leave it. Okay, your gx is there, right? Okay, and then the y-axis. Okay, y-axis I put here. This is the purple one. Okay, and straight line y equals 5. Now, where is 5? This is 3. This is 1. How do I know it's 1? Because this is a y-intercept. So where is 5? 5 is higher. Okay, perhaps one may argue that, oh, I know, if I know where is 3, I know where is 5. Okay, 5 is here, right? But actually, it doesn't really help, right? I mean, you don't really know that this is 3. Yeah. The question say region bounded by the curve, y equals gx, y-axis, and horizontal line y equals 5. Let me use pink. Okay, don't use pink. Use light green. This is my light green. This one. Yeah, y equals 5. So the region that we are talking about is this one, the yellow region here. So it has nothing to do with coordinate point P. And we're going to rotate this 360 degree about the y-axis. So to find the volume, right, we have to use integration of pi x squared dy, because I'm rotating about the y-axis. So we go back to the function for gx. Gx is now, your y is now 2x squared plus 1. You need to make x squared as a subject. So your x squared is y, bring the 1 over, minus 1 divided by 2. So your volume would be integration of 1 to 5 pi y minus 1 over 2 dy. Okay, so we're going to take out the pi. In fact, I'll take out over 2. So personally, I think composite function is a lot easier because you don't have to substitute so many times. If you integrate 1 by 1, right? For example, some of you okay, I show you one extra step. I take out first. This one is y minus 1 dy. Some people will integrate y squared over 2 minus y, then 1 to 5. Then I will have to substitute twice. For me, I like to use composite function because I only need to substitute once. Y minus 1 square over 2, differentiate inside is 1. Okay, this is 1 to 5. You see, here, from here on, I just substitute one time. As in one time for 5, one time for 1. So it's easier. The 2 and 2, you can take it out. Right? So I think 2 times 2, I just write 4 here. I put 5 minus 1 square minus 1 minus 1 square. So a lot easier to count, right? And we can, 1 minus 1, you know, is 0. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 squared is 16. 16 divided by 4. Answer, 16 divided by 4 is 4. Answer is 4 pi unit cube. Right, I think the marking scheme made a mistake. Marking scheme gave a different answer. If you don't believe me, you can just use your calculator. See, you can type in integration, type in the whole function. But we in your calculator, we don't use y, we use x. This will be x minus 1 over 2. Your lower limit is 1, upper limit is 5. Just type in the calculator. See, answer is 4. So it's 4 pi. Okay, so yep, that is the answer. Okay, let's continue with question number 5. This is from Form 4 Chapter 1 function. So diagram shows the function f inverse s that map a to b. So this is f inverse. So when you go from a to b is f inverse, you go from b to x, b to a is your fx. So given that f4 is 8m plus 1, you're supposed to find the value of m. Okay, so first of all, you need to understand that if I go in opposite direction, right, this is x, right? Your fx is actually 7x minus m. Just try to confuse the student, okay? Right? So this is your x, your object. You map go this way, is f inverse, this is your image. If you start from here, this is your object. The other one is your image. Okay, so we are going to sub in this information. That is, your f4 is now 8m plus 1. That means when you put, okay, let me write down. If you put 4 inside this function, your outcome is 8m plus 1. So 7 times, put 4 inside, 4 minus m is now 8m plus 1. 28, you bring the 1 over, is 27. M bring to the right, 8 plus 1 is 9m. M is just 3. Okay, this is a Roman 1. Now, Roman 2, you're supposed to find f inverse, which is also quite simple. You know your m now. Your m is now 3. So to inverse this function, we let f inverse x becomes y. Fy is now x. Remember, you can also let fx becomes y. If you let fx becomes y, you're solving for x. If you let f inverse x becomes y, you're solving for y. So this is 7y minus 3 equals to x. 7y is now x plus 3. Y is x plus 3 over 7. And what's your y? Your y is your f inverse x. Yeah, x plus 3 over 7. Okay, so actually there's a shortcut to do this. I don't even think very hard. You just have to first think opposite operation and opposite sequence. So here first we times 7, then you minus 3. Then this one you bring over, first you plus 3, then you divide by 7. You get the answer in one step. However, you're going to be mindful about the marks given. You see, if they assign 1 mark, yes, you can just write this straight away. But if you give you 2 marks, please show you're working. Yeah, this is the standard way of solving it. Now, next one. They say it is given that G map B to C. G is this, right? Write a function that map at A to C through set B. Okay, so B to C is another one, function G, right? So if you want to go from A to C, that means you have to go through F inverse. So you're going to do F inverse followed by G. So what this question does was it tests you the idea or the concept of composite function, right? That you need to know the sequence. Which one to do first? We need to do F inverse first, followed by G. Yeah, but it's not difficult. It's quite easy actually. So you're finding G F inverse. My F inverse is x plus 3 over 7. you take this and put inside your g. Guys, your g is this, x plus 6 over 5. So I'm going to put bracket plus 6 over 5. And I'm going to put this x plus 3 over 7 inside my bracket. So simplify this further. I can multiply top and bottom by 7 just to get a fraction, times 7 times 7. So when you multiply by 7, you get x plus 3. 6 times 7 is 42. 5 times 7 is 35. Answer is x plus 45 over 35. Okay, moving on to question number 6. The first part, you're supposed to derive the formula for sine 2x equals to 2 sine x cos x. I think maybe the question can be a bit more specific. Like you actually derive this formula from the addition formula. You need to start off with addition formula to get this, right? So when you use addition formula, right, remember addition formula is sine a plus b equals to sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. So by letting b equals to a, replacing b with a, this is a plus a. This is sine a cos a plus cos a sine a, right? Now a plus a is 2a, so this is sine 2a. This is sine a cos a, and this is cos a sine a. I can just rewrite it. Actually, you can skip this step. Just rewrite for you to switch the position. If you have xy plus yx is the same as xy plus xy, right? You can just switch the position. That gives us 2xy, or in this case, okay, I should be using x, sorry, not a. So we let b and a be x, better. We let a equals to b equals to x. So this will be x plus x. Let me change this up. This will be sine x cos x cos x sine x. So let's switch this to 2x. This will be sine x cos x sine x cos x. You add together, you get 2 sine x cos x. There you go. That's how you derive this formula. All right. Now, this is the first part. Second part, solve this equation. So we can just use a result from the first part. We know that sine 2x is 2 sine x cos x. So I just straight away substitute 2 sine x cos x equals to cos x. Now, please, some student, they go and cancel the cos directly. You can't do that. So when you cancel this, you're actually eliminating a set of answer. Now, we know that, for example, today, if I give you 2x squared equals to x, or maybe 6x, right? Some people can cancel this and say, oh, 6 divided by 2, you get 3. Yeah, there's a mistake. Yeah, there's a big mistake because we are eliminating a set of answer. We should perhaps bring the 6 to the left, take out common factor 2x, x minus 3. You notice there are two answers, x is 0 or 3. So this is the right way of doing it because your x can be 0. Now, in this case, your cos can be 0. So you can't just cancel the cos, right? So please bring your cos to the left-hand side, right? You get 2 sine x cos x minus cos x equals to 0. Factorize your cos x. You're left with 2 sine x minus 1 equals to 0. Now, from here, your cos x can either be 0 or your sine x can be 1 over 2. Now, here you're supposed to give your answer in pi, in pi radian. So your x is between 0 to pi. So the moment you have a cos x goes to 0, right? For me, I'll use the graph. Right? The easiest way is to use a graph. The graph of cos looks like this. It is 0 at 90 or pi over 2 and 270 or 3 pi over 2. But we have to ignore 3 pi over 2 because we want your x value to be within 0 to pi. So we just take one answer, x equals to pi over 2. For sine x equals to half, right, you can use your calculator, change your calculator to radian mode, shift menu, angle unit 2 for radian, shift sine 1 over 2, you will get pi over 6. So your reference angle is pi over 6. Yeah, you want, you can write down pi over 6. Sign is positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, right? Quadrant 2 will be 180 minus, but we can't use 180 minus here because this is in radian. We use pi minus. So there you go. You got two answers here. One is pi over 6. Another one is 5 pi over 6. But including the first answer from cos x equals 0, altogether, all in, you have 3. Yeah? Pi over 2, pi over 6, and 5 pi over 6. Okay? Now, next, part C. So diagram shows a right angle triangle ABC. So you're supposed to express tangent square ACB. ACB is this angle here in terms of M. Okay, so first of all, if you want to find tangent, first we need to find out what is the relationship between them. We need to find the length of BC, right? Actually, this is sine. You can find your cos first if you want, right? There are many ways to do it. You can find cos first, or you can straight away you can use a triangle. Okay, I tell you what, I will just use a triangle since triangle is given, right? So we know cos of ACB will be, okay, sorry, use Pythagoras first to find your BC, then you find your cos. Yeah, we take m square minus sub 2 square root. So this is m square minus 2 square root. Then find our cos value. Okay, my cos ABC or ACB is your adjacent. Okay, what was I thinking? Don't need to use cos, straight right tangent. My tangent, sorry, tangent ACB will be square root 2 over square root m square minus 2. But I'm not finding tangent, I'm finding tangent square. So very simple, just square both sides. When I square this, I will get m square minus 2. Yeah, sorry, 2 m square minus 2. Now, you can actually use another way. That is, you know cos square is sine square, 1 minus sine square. Like, for example, but this is a bit long. Some of you may find this a bit long. We know from here, your sine ACB is sub 2 over m. The moment you square it, you will get sine square ACB is 2 over m square, right? Okay, your cos square ACB is 1 minus sine square. Therefore, your tangent square ACB, this angle ACB here, is your sine over cos square. So now, not advisable, a little bit long. You multiply top and bottom by m square, 2 m square minus 2. Same answer, but this one we don't need to use a triangle. We are using, sine basic identity. Yeah, cos square is 1 minus sine square, sine, yeah, straight away. Then tangent is sine over cos. Okay, so I've got this answer already. Hence, find angle ACB if your m is 2. Well, if your m is 2, ACB, you put 2 inside. 2 over 2 square minus 2. 2 square is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1. Whenever you square root, by right, you should put a plus minus. But you can see ACB is acute angle, right? So there's no point to put plus minus. You can put plus minus 1, right? But like I say, ACB is acute, right? So maybe I just put 1. We say ACB is less than 90, right? Acute. If it's less than 90, it cannot be negative 1. Your angle is always positive. So there's only one answer. But the question didn't say use degree radian, but normally, I think we can just use degree. Most of the time we use degree for angle if it's given a triangle like this. So I press shift menu, convert your angle back to degree, shift tangent 1 is 45, right? Yep. So angle ACB is just 45 degree. Okay. Okay, question number 7. This is from the chapter progression from 4, chapter 5. Okay, so diagram 6 shows a few gray colored isosceles a triangle pattern drawn on the net of a rectangular roll of paper. So given that length of AB is P, this is P. The length of BC is P plus K. The length of CD is P plus 2K, and so on. So it by itself is an arithmetic progression. So you're supposed to express the area of second isosceles triangle in terms of P and K. So if you have an isosceles triangle, we can divide evenly at the center, and this P here represents the height. The P plus K represent the height of the second triangle. P plus 2K represent the height of the third triangle, and so on. Now, the length of your base is 20, right? So we can use half times base times height. Now, let us find out the area of the second. Maybe I'll just write second. Second isosceles triangle T2, it will be half times 20 times P plus K. So this is 10 here. 10 of P plus K. When you expand it, you get 10P plus 10K. There you go. That is the height. That's the area of the second isosceles triangle. Now, then they say that given that the area of the 15 and the 30th, 15 and 30th, right? They are 700 and 1,300. Find the P and K. So here we got to form a arithmetic progression for the area. Your area of the first triangle is half times 20 times P, which is 10P. We know the second already. Your common difference is T2 minus T1. Answer is 10K, right? I know my A, I know my D. I can find my T15, which is 700, to form the first equation. Now, T15 will be A, which is 10P plus N minus 1. N is 15 minus 1, 14. D is 10K. The result is 700. So this is 10P plus 140K equals 700. I will divide by 10. So P plus 14K is 70. That's my first equation. I need to form a second equation. So let me continue here. My second equation is T30. Your T30 is 1,300. So the formula is, again, A plus N minus 1, 30 minus 1. D is 10K. The result, 1,300. So we write 10P plus 29 times 10 is 290K, 1,300. Dividing by 10, P plus 29K is 1300. Call this equation number 2. Now, let's take equation 2 minus equation 1 so that I can eliminate the P. P minus P disappear. Your 29 minus 14 is 15, 15K. All right, sorry, this one is 1,300. I wrote one extra zero. So there's 130 here. 130, you minus 70. That would be 60. K is 60 divided by 15. K is just 4. So now that I know K is 4, I can sub inside any equation. I take equation 1. P plus 14 times 4 equals to 70. 70, you bring this 14 times 4 is 56. You bring over. P is 70 minus 56. P is just 14. Okay? All right. Now next, let's move on to part C. Okay. They say that a bottle of paint, a bottle of poster paint can color area of 600 square cm. And the cost of the bottle of the paint is 250. Calculate the cost needed to paint the whole 30 isosceles triangle. So there are 30 isosceles triangles. But first of all, we know what's the area. What is the total area of the triangle? Okay, we find as 30. The formula is 30 over 2 bracket 2a. Since I know my a, right? Okay, maybe I list out for you. Your a is 10p. Your a is here, T1. Since your p is 14, so 10 times 14 140. Your common difference D is 10K. Since your K is 4, this is 40, right? Your common difference is 40. Your first term is 140. So the formula is n over 2 for Sn, n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. Find out what is your total area. So 30 divided 2, I think we can just write 15 bracket 2 times 140 is 280. Then 30 minus 1 is 29 times 40. There you go. 21600. Okay, 21600. So this is your total area. Now, one bottle, you can color 600 square. So how many bottles do you need, right? Your number of bottles will be 21600 divided by 600. Basically, it's 216 divided by 6. That will give us 36. So you need 36 bottles, right? But the cost of one bottle is 2 ringgit and 50 cents. So the total cost, you're finding the total cost, right? It will be 36 times 250. Use your calculator. 36 times 250, 90 RM, 90 ringgit to color the poster. Okay, question number 8. So diagram 7 shows two triangles, OPQ and SOQ, POQ and SOQ. Straight line OS intersects straight line PQ at point R. So this is point R. Now, vector OP is X, vector OQ is 2Y, OP is 2 times of PQ, of QS. So that means QS is shorter, it's half of it. So I'm going to write half X. So you're supposed to first express in terms of X and Y, vector OS. Okay, to go from O to S, I can go O to Q, Q to S. That means you do 2Y plus half X. Okay, can we write down? 2Y OS is 2Y plus half X. Okay, next, you're finding PQ. So to go from P to Q, I can go P to O, O to Q. That is minus X plus 2Y. Yeah, when you go in the opposite direction, please put the negative up. So your PQ is minus X plus 2Y. You can rearrange it. If you leave it like this, it's still okay. Yeah. All right. Next, let's move on to part B. You're given that OR is M. Okay. You're given OR is MOS. So let me label here OR is MOS. That means M is a fraction of, it's a number less than 1. So for example, OR can be 2 over 3 of OS. Yeah, it's shorter, right? And PR is NPQ. PR is NPQ, so this is N. Okay, same thing. PR is a fraction of PQ. So you're supposed to express OR in terms of M and then in terms of N. So yeah, we find two versions of OR. So the first version of OR, right, this is B Roman 1 in terms of M. So we can just go direct. Yeah, is M times of OS. And I already know vector OS from the first part. So I just sub inside 2Y plus half X. Maybe we can arrange it, put the X in front. So it's half MX plus 2MY. Okay, so this is B Roman 1. B Roman 2, you're finding OR in terms of N, right? In terms of N, you need to use PR equals NPQ. So from the diagram, you can see N is on this side. So if I want to go from O to R, I have to use O to P, P to R. So OR is O to P, P to R. Your OP is just X, PR is NPQ, N times of PQ. So your PQ, we already know earlier from here. So it's negative X plus 2Y. Put them together, you get X minus NX plus 2NY. factorize your x, you should get this answer. Right. Now, next, I'm supposed to find m and n, right? So to solve for m and n, very simple. We compare two versions of OR. So the first version of OR, you can see it, the coefficient of m is half n. The second version of OR, the coefficient of x is 1 minus n. So we basically compare. This is the next part. We should call this part C, right? Right? Sorry. Still part B. Yeah. Hence, still part B. Yeah. So no need to label. So we compare coefficient of x. So half m is 1 minus n. You can times 2. M is 2 minus 2n. Call this equation 1. Then you compare your y. Your y, I'm going to use green color. 2m is now 2n. 2m is now 2n. So m is n. Okay, very simple, right? Now, let's sub equation 2 inside equation 1. Your n, Malaysia and Nigeria, the same. You sub inside. N equals 2 minus 2n. 3n is now 2. N is 2 over 3. If your n is 2 over 3, you can sub inside equation number 2. Your m is also 2 over 3. Right. Okay, let's move on. The last part. Given that magnitude x is 3, magnitude y is 5, find magnitude of PQ. Okay, let's go back to the diagram. Magnitude of x is 3, magnitude y is 5. Okay, if you look at the diagram, this is the magnitude of x. Yeah, maybe I label here, magnitude of x is now 3. So this is 3 units. So let's forget about the rest, the one to see. Magnitude of 2y, 1y is 5 units, 2y is 10 units. So what we have here is a triangle. This is a triangle. And we are supposed to find the magnitude of PQ. So the strange thing about this is that today, if I give you 1, 2, 3, like this is 3 units, this is 10 units. Do you have enough information to find the length of PQ? You learned this in solution triangle, right? In order to find the length of PQ, one missing information that is important here is what? This angle. If I know this angle is 60, we can use cosine rule to find PQ, right? As long as I know this angle, then I can find PQ. But if you're not given the angle, you cannot find PQ, right? So that's the problem. There's an error in the question. And if you check the marking scheme, the question assumes that this is a right angle. Okay, so maybe what they can do is they can say, given that POQ is 90 degrees, okay, given that angle POQ is 90, then x is 3, magnitude x is 3, magnitude y is 5, find magnitude PQ. Then you can find, right? Even if they give you 60, we can find, yeah, or 45 or whatever angle, because this, once you know this angle, we can use cosine rule to find PQ. So here we are assuming, right, because the marking scheme based on the fact that this is 90 degrees, so we can just, yeah, what to do? We will have to change the question and say this is 90 degrees, P, Q, O, this magnitude is 3, this magnitude is 10. Okay, so using Pythagoras, right? Okay, if you want to show working, you can say magnitude of your OQ. OQ is 2 of y, y is 5, this is 10. So if you are finding magnitude PQ, we take 3 square plus 10 square square root. This is square root of 109. Use your calculator. Square root 109 is 10.44. Yeah, this is 10.44 square units. Okay. Okay, let's move on to question number 9. This is from linear law. Okay, here we are supposed to plot log 10y against x plus 1. So I think the first thing we do is we construct the table of value for x plus 1 and log base 10y. So it's LG. I just use LGY. Okay, so if your x is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. This is 2 plus 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So as for LG, right, I'm going to type LG shift log 4, I got 0.60. Okay, 5.7, 5.7, 0.76. Okay, 8.7. This is 8.7, 0.94. Next one, 13.2. 13.2. That will be 1.12. And next one, 20, log 20, 1.30. And 28.8, 28.8, 1.46. So what you need to do next is to use a table, use your calculator will be better to estimate the gradient and y-intercept before even we get started with the graph. Okay, so you press mode, go to number 6 for statistic, press number 2, y equals a plus bx. This is a linear law form, straight line form. Your x is start with 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your y starts from 0.6, 0.76. Okay, next 0.94, 1.12, 1.30, 1.46. Okay, so yep, we calculate everything, key in everything, right? Double check at 0.6, 0.76, 9, 4, 1.12, 1.30. Yeah, it's correct. So go AC, press OPTN for option. Go to number 3 for regression calculator. And what we have here is your A, which represent your y-intercept. B is your gradient. So your y-intercept is 0.246. Yeah, let me write down. Y-intercept C is 0.246. So you get around there, or 0.25. And your gradient is going to be 0.174, around there, 0.174. Okay, so it's a positive gradient. Your R 0.999 means is most of the point are around very close to the line of best fit. Okay, the question mentioned the scale is 2 cm to 1 unit on horizontal and 2 cm to 0.2 on vertical. So you can start here, 0. Let me zoom in a bit hard to see here. 2 cm to 1. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe go up to 7. The largest we have is 7. And vertical, okay, let me draw the axis first, horizontal axis. Is this? Let us adjust. Okay. This is x plus 1. Vertical axis 0.2, 0.4. Zoom in. This is 0.6, 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6. The largest is 1.46. So I think it's very small graph. You don't have to draw all the way up. 1.6 is enough, sufficient. So draw your y-axis all the way up. Yeah, to here. So this is your LGY. Okay, now next we're going to plot the points one by one. Starting with 2 and 0.6. 2, 0.6, which is this point. Next, 3 and 0.76. 3, 0.76. Next is 4, 0.94. 94. Next, 5, 1.12. 5, 1.12. 6, 1.30. And 7 is 1.46. 1.46 will be 3 boxes from here. So as you can see, most of the points are very much on the line of best fit. And your y-intercept is going to be 0.25, around there. Yeah, so I will, okay, maybe I fix the y-intercept first. Let us fix the y-intercept. 0.25 is here. Okay, you can use 24 lah. 24 also can. Okay, let me label one more time. 0.245, right? You can use 24 or 25. So I think I'll take 25. This is 0.25. Okay, then I'm gonna draw a line starting from here and extend all the way and make sure it passes through as many points as possible. Okay, we have to do some adjustment to make sure it's balanced. The number of points above and number of points below the line best fit, as much as possible. Yeah, you want it to be equal. Okay, so let me adjust a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it's quite balanced. The second point excuse me, the second point is below. The fifth point is above. The third point is slightly below. The last point is slightly below. So perhaps can adjust a little bit more. Oops. Wait, what happened? I think I accidentally moved down. Okay, here. Let us adjust a little bit. This is better actually. Yeah, now it's better. Okay. All right. So now then two things you need to find from the graph is the gradient and y-intercept. So my gradient, we pick horizontally 5 boxes. Why any number divided by 5 is a nice number. It's a terminating decimal. So I will pick this point 0, 0.25, 0, 0.25. Count 5 boxes across. This one looks like 5, and you see actually it's the same. It's sitting on the same point, right? It passes the same point, 1.12, right? 1.12. 1.12. So I can calculate my gradient. Let me calculate my gradient here. So your gradient is, let me take 1.12 minus 0.25 divide by 5 minus 0. Okay. Now let's see whether the answer matches the value we got from calculator, which is 0.174. Okay, go back to menu 1.12 minus 0.25 divide 5. Okay, I've got 0.174. Yeah, bingo. Nice value. 0.174 is the same as what we got from our calculator earlier. Okay, so now next, once you're done with the graph, okay, so what we want to do is we want to find the value of unknown A and B. So to find the value of unknown A and B, we need to convert this equation over here to linear form. Okay, so how to do that? We introduce log. We know what to do based on the fact that we are plotting LGY versus x plus 1. So we know we did introduce log. So let me write down over here. Okay, so this is B. We convert by introducing LG on the left, on the right. Split this into LGA minus LGB x plus 1. The x plus 1 you transfer in front. So this is LGA minus x plus 1 LGB. Now let me arrange further by putting LGB in front. This represents your gradient. X plus 1 is your big X, the variable on your x-axis, and LGA is your big Y, which is your is your y-intercept. So this is your big Y, this is your gradient, this is your big X, this is your C. Okay, so we have already calculated the gradient from the graph. From the graph, our gradient is positive 0.174. Okay, so bring the negative over, so negative 0.174, and then change from logarithm form to index form. We can do that by using shift log, that is the 10 power negative 0.174. We call this anti-log. So my answer is 0.6699. Yeah, B is 0.6699. Okay, I wonder whether it's the same, 6699. Maybe closer. Yeah, close. Now, the next one is your y-intercept. We compare y-intercept from the graph, LGA. This is your gradient. This is your y-intercept. And the y-intercept from the graph. From the graph, y-intercept 0.25. So A will be shift log 0.25. You should get 1.778. Yeah, A is 1.778. There you go. That's the value of A and B. Your answer might be a little bit different, yeah, from the marking schema, because there's always a slight difference in answer. But I think this answer is okay. It's quite Yeah, quite close already. Yeah, I think your A is correct. Your B is slightly different. Yeah. Sorry, A is a little bit different, but we know the answer should be better answer because based on my calculator, right? Just now I'm showing you, it's 0.25, 24525, right? So it's actually a closer answer. Yeah, a better answer. Okay. Okay, moving on to question number 10. This is from 5, chapter 2, differentiation. So here we have a cylinder with a radius of 4 cm containing water up to the height of 6 cm. This is 6 cm, this is 4, radius is 4. Is poured into the cone at a constant rate of at a constant rate. So the volume of water in the cone is given by this. They say all the waters in the cone is poured, all the water is poured into the cone in 4 seconds. Find the initial volume of water in the cylinder. Okay, so number one, what is the volume of water in the cylinder? Volume cylinder is given by pi r square h. Your radius is 4, your height is h. 4 square is 16, 16 times 6, 96. But let me just work it out for you. 4 square, you times with 6. Answer 96 pi. So this is the initial volume. We can leave it in terms of pi. Now, next, let me move down a bit. They say find the rate of change of the cone when the height of the when its height is 3 cm. Okay, so now the question mentioned that water is poured inside, but is poured at a constant rate. It's very important, constant rate. So when it's poured at constant rate, right, the total volume is 96. The rate dV/dt, the rate of change of your volume that is added to your cone should be 96 divided by 4. You divide by 4 because it's constant. Yeah, in 4 seconds, pour into in 4 seconds, so it's 24 pi. Now, I need to find rate of change of the height of the cone. Height of the cone is x. So you're actually finding dx dt. So to find dx dt, we have to use the chain rule dx dv dt. I already have my dv dt. Dx dv I have to find. If we go back to the formula, volume is given v equals to 1 over 3 pi x cubed. So when I differentiate dv dx, I got pi x squared. And then I have to substitute the x value when the height is 3. So x equals to 3, your dv dx will be pi 3 squared, which gives us 9 pi. Now, if you're finding dx dt, we have to use dx dv. This is dv dx. Dx dv is 1 over. Just invert it. You get 1 over 9 pi. Multiply with 24 pi. We can cancel 24 and 9. 24 divided by 3, you get 8. 9 divided by 3, you get 3. Answer is 8 over 3 cm per second. Okay. The unit, if you don't write, it's okay. Yeah, no marks given for unit. You can just write 8 over 3. Now, next, find the volume of water in the cylinder in 3 seconds, after 3 seconds or at 3 seconds. Okay, so you see, if you pour the water from the cylinder into the cone at a constant rate of 24 pi. So this is 24 pi cm cube per second. Every second, the water reduces by 24. So after 3 seconds, let me do it here, pass here. After 3 seconds, the volume of water left will be, take the initial, 96 pi. Every second, you lose 24. After 3 seconds, you lose 3 times 24 pi. So basically, it's 96. 96 minus 72. This is 24 times 3. That gives us 24 pi. So the volume of water left in the cylinder after 3 seconds is 24 pi. Okay, then the last part. Find the time required for the height of the water in the cone to reach 5 cm. So the water in the cone will keep increasing, right? But we want to find the time. Before we find the time, we find the volume of water in the cone first, okay? So volume of water in the cone is given by 1 over 3 pi x cubed. Your x is now 5 cm, 5 cubed. So 5 cubed is 125/3. Can't simplify. Now, the water is poured inside the cone at this rate, right? 24 pi. So we know volume divided by time will give us the rate. So to find T, right, basically you take 125 pi/3, you divide by 24 pi, you get the time, right? So take 125/3, you can divide, you can ignore the pi because the pi can cancel out. You divide by 24, answer 125/72. If you change to decimal, 1.736. Yeah, therefore the time taken is 1.736 seconds. Okay. Okay, question number 11. This is from 5, chapter 6, chapter 5, the probability distribution. So here we have a fruit supplier company. It has delivered guava to a dining hall of a school. It was found that 5% of the guava were rotten. Okay, so how many guava? The percentage of rotten, let me write rotten is 0.05. That is in probability. Percentage 5%, probability 0.05. So here they say if a sample of 10 guava are chosen, so your n is 10. So find the probability 9 of them are good. So it's up to you. You can change the definition, or you find the probability that is rotten. As in, 9 good means what? 9 good means 1 must be rotten, right? So you can change the definition, change the probability to 0.95 to find the number that is good, or you can just use 1 rotten. So 1 rotten means like this, px equals to 1. Remember the formula, NC1, rotten is 0.05 power 1. Not rotten means good, 0.95 power 10 minus 1. So this will be 9. Now you can choose to use your calculator. Normal way, type in directly. That is 10C1, 0.05 and 0.95 power 9. This is one way of typing. 0.3151. Yeah, 0.3151. Another way of doing this is to use this function in your calculator, distribution. So you go to number 4 for binomial distribution, binomial PD. Go to number 2 for variable. Your x is 1. Your n is 10 because your sample size is 10. You choose 10. Your probability of rotten is 0.05. You should get 0.3151. Okay, 3151. All right. So that is part A, Roman 1. Next, part A, Roman 2. Find the minimum number of guava required to ensure that the probability of having at least 1 rotten guava is more than 0.85. So when we say at least 1 rotten, more than 0.85. So let's use 1 minus x equals to 0, more than 0.85. Okay, so bring this over, px equals 0, less than 0.15. Use the formula NC0. Your probability of rotten is 0.05. Power 0, not rotten, is 0.95. Power n less than 0.15. Now NC0 is 1. 0.05 power 0 also 1. 0.95 power n is less than 0.15. Okay, so here we're going to use logarithm. We're going to introduce log on the left, on the right hand side. Okay, then you can transfer. By the way, this one you can write n minus 0. Yeah, maybe it's better to write, yeah, n minus 0, 0.15. Okay, so we know we have to bring the power down. Use your calculator, type in log. Okay, get rid of this first. Okay, by the way, one more thing. Remember, when you take logarithm of any number between 0 and 1, it's going to be negative. 0.95, see, is negative. So when you divide it, the inequality symbol has to change. So now we're going to take log 0.15 divide by log 0.95. I got 36.99. Yeah, if you round off 36.99 to decimal, okay, or 4 significant figure, 36.99. So therefore, my n should be 37. Okay. All right. Okay, I need to move on to part B. So here we have the mass of guava, right? It's normally distributed, mean 320, variance 225. So mu 320, 320, variance is 225. If you square root it, you get your standard deviation. Your standard deviation is 15. So here we're finding the probability that the weight of a randomly selected guava is more than 330. So we write Px greater 330, change from x to z. This is 330 minus your mean, 320, standard deviation is 15. So use your calculator. It's actually 10 over 15. A very ugly number. 10 over 15 is actually 2 or 3, or we have to change to decimal. We pick up to 3 decimal because to use the mathematical table is based on 3 decimal point. Your z value is 3 decimal, 0.667. So here, if I use the table, right, 667, let me just move over here. I put my table here, 667, 0.6. The second 6 is here, 7. 7, you need to subtract. Okay, let me zoom in a bit. You need to subtract 19. So basically, you're taking when you type this, please don't type 0 point. Type 2546 minus 19. You minus 19 from the last digit, you get 2527. Okay, 2527. Okay, let me go back to this. 2527, 0.2527. Now, you can also use your calculator. When you use your calculator, we press menu, go to 7 again, go to number 2, normal CD. But because you need to set your lower limit. This is upper tail. Upper tail, we start, in this case, we start from 0.667. That's your lower. We start from lower tail, sorry. Then go to upper tail, right? Upper tail means you go all the way to infinity. Infinity, normally you put 999, right? There you go, 2524. Okay, I wonder whether I read this wrongly. Is there a difference? 25. Okay, I supposed to subtract, right? 2527, 2524. Okay, let me see. 25. Maybe I subtract wrongly. 667. Let's see again. I got 2524 from calculator. 256. Okay, sorry. I look at the wrong one. It's 23. I look at the wrong one. So just now I'm supposed to. So this is 2524. But if you use your mathematical table, is 2546 minus 23, you should get 2523. Okay, so mathematical table and calculator, sometimes there's a slight difference in answer. Okay, so yeah, if I use calculator, I get 24. If I use table, I get 23. Okay, so next. But of course, calculator is more accurate than table because table, they rounded off actually. Yeah? Calculator is the most accurate. Yeah, if you use directly the function and calculator. Okay, coming back to this second part. Okay, first part we're done. We got the value of the probability. Second part, we're finding the value of h. Given that 90% of guava have weight greater than h. So this is quite straightforward type of question as well. X greater than h, yeah, is 90%. So the thing is, we need to first standardize this. Change from x to z. Yeah? You minus your mean, 320, standard deviation 15, 0.90. So I'm going to do a sketch. I know this has to be on the left. Now, in the way you have to, I always teach my students use these 3 steps: fix the position, shade the region, and check whether it makes sense. Fixing position means you have to fix on the left or on the right. So there are only 2 possibilities. So if you fix on the right-hand side, for example, you put your h minus 320 over 15. Shading depends on this symbol. It's more than. More than means you shade to the right-hand side. Checking means you ask yourself, can this area be 0.9? You want to make sure the area matches the probability. So obviously not. So this sketch is wrong. So instead of fixing on the left-hand side or right-hand side, we will fix on the left-hand side. This should be your h minus 320 over 15 greater than is to the right-hand side, and this should be 0.9. Now you can do 1 minus, but for me, this one is 0.10. It's quite obvious to see. The total probably is 1. So this is z less than h minus 320 over 15. This should be 0.10. The upper tail is 0.9. The lower tail will be 0.1. Now, to find this, right, we have to work backwards. You have to slowly find from the mathematical table 0.1. Where's 0.1? So yeah, let me rub this off. Okay, if you look at your mathematical table 0.1, the closest I got is this 0.1003. So you have to subtract, this is 1.28. So you have to subtract either 2 or 4. Yeah, both also can, because you either get 1.281, 1.282, because you can't get exactly this. There's no 3 here, right? You can either choose 2 or 4. So it's okay to use 1.281 or 1.282. But what you can do is you can use your calculator to validate, see which one is the better answer. All right. Okay, let me just move back a bit here. Okay, I know from my calculator, I press menu, I go to 7, I go to number 3, inverse normal, right? I type in 0.1 because it's lower tail, 0.1. You see, this is 1.282. Another thing you have to take note that is this 1.282. You take note that this is less than is the lower tail. Your mathematical table is based on the upper tail. So when you read your mathematical table, let's say this 1.282, this is 0.1. You can flip over to the left and make this 0.1 because they're symmetrical. Your z value is negative 1.282. So here, my h is now h minus 320 over 15 is now negative 1.282. So what I need to do is to multiply by 15 and then add 320. Let's go back to this one. Negative 1.282, you multiply by 15 plus 320. My answer h is 300.77. So, okay, the question didn't specify that you could leave it in decimal, how many decimal point, right? You just say find the value of h. So you can leave it this way. You want to round off, also can. 300.8 is still fine, correct to 4 significant figure. Okay. Okay, question number 12. This is from solution of triangle from 4, chapter 9. So diagram shows a quadrilateral. You're supposed to find the length of PR. Okay, so you look at the diagram, right? PR is opposite to 36, and 36 is included angle between 14 and 8. So here we have to use cosine rule. So let me write here, PR square is 8 square, 14 square minus 2 times 8 times 14 cos of the angle in between, which is 36. Okay, so use your calculator, 8 square plus 14 square minus 2 times 8 times 14 times cos 36. Okay, your answer is this, and take the square root of it, you should get 8.876. Yeah, PR is 8.876. Okay, so once you got PR, this is Roman 1, let us find PRQ. So PRQ will be this angle here. So this is 8.876. We use our sine rule. Sine angle PRQ divide opposite side 14 equals to sine 36 divide 8.876. Okay, so use your calculator. Let me show you here. Sine 36 divide 8.876 times 14. Whatever we get, shift sign, answer equals. However, we can't take this answer because you can see, obviously, this is an obtuse angle. So if this is an obtuse angle, we need to do 180 minus, let me write this out, PRQ is 180 minus this angle, 67.99, right? You can use your calculator, 180 minus, you should get 112.01, yeah? 112.01, okay? All right. So then by using Heron's law, calculate the area of triangle PRS. Okay, so we got this length really. Actually, we don't, Heron's law, we need length of 3 sides, right? You don't need any other thing, okay? We can just take our semi-perimeter first, which is 6 plus 8.876 plus 10.2, divide by 2. Semi-perimeter means perimeter divided by 2. 6 plus 8.876 plus 10.2 divide by 2. My answer is 12.538. 12.538. So my area will be, take the square root. Remember, is the difference between, first we take the semi-perimeter, take the semi-perimeter minus the difference between the length of each side. Now let's start with the smallest side, which is 6. 12.538. Second one is 8.876. Third, 12.538, you minus 6, minus 10.2. Third one is 10.2. There you go. Use your calculator and count. So for me, I like to use this 12.538, save it. When you press equals, right, it's actually stored as your answer. So we just type square root, answer, open bracket, answer minus 6, close bracket, open bracket, answer minus 8.876, close bracket, another answer minus 10.2. Okay, there you go. My answer is 26.49, right? 26.49. Okay, next, I want to find, let's move on. The shortest distance between from point R to straight line PS. R to PS is this. The shortest distance is a perpendicular distance. So that means this is your height. Since we already know the area of triangle, right, we can use half times base times height. This is B Roman 1, this is B Roman 2, half times base. Your base is PS, which is 10.2. Your height, which is the perpendicular distance, we'll call it H, and your area is 26.49. So to find H, we take this answer, 26.49. You multiply by 2, divide by 10.2. Okay, my answer is this, 5.194. Yeah, 5.194. Okay. Lastly, we have to sketch. Yeah, they say sketch triangle P prime, Q prime, R prime, which has a different shape from PQR such that QR prime equals QR. So you maintain QR, QP prime equals QP, maintain QP, and maintain angle QPR. Okay, so let's go back to this diagram. Focus on this triangle here. They say, wait, let me use a different color. They say you want to maintain QP, this length, you want to maintain QR, and you want to maintain QPR, this angle. So this is a case of ambiguity. The ambiguity happens when the opposite side of a given angle. So the angle that you want to maintain is this. The opposite side is 8. 8 is shorter than another given side, another side that you're going to maintain, which is 14. So there is ambiguity. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you know that they meet here. This is a joint, or the hinge if you like. Q is a meeting point between 14 and 8. So I'm going to take Q, and I'm going to flip this. Now, you can either flip inside or flip outside. So if you have an obtuse angle like this here, so we need to flip it outside. So I extend this line. Maybe I just draw a straight line, extend like this. You use this point here. Imagine this is like a hinge. You got this length here. I'm going to flip it outside. So when I flip it out, it's going to go like this. Okay, maybe draw a bit wider, such that these two must look about the same length. So you maintain 8 cm. So this 14 is maintained. This angle is also maintained. And your R prime will be outside. Okay, so let me redraw this triangle. I know it's a bit hard to draw. Use a ruler, yeah, as much as possible. I'm going to draw as accurate as we can. Okay, so this a bit lower. This is a bit longer. All right, this is your triangle. So this is P, Q, R, all with the prime, right? So this angle, this is still 8, this is still 14, and you're supposed to do one more thing. You're supposed to state angle PR prime Q, which is the angle over here. Now you can see the angle over here, you're supposed to see this angle. We know that these two are equal length, so these two must be the same angle. So you don't have to recalculate because we already calculated this earlier, 67.99. 67.99 here, this also 67.99. Therefore, your angle, this is part C here, angle PR prime Q prime should be 67.99. Okay, question number 13. This is index number. So table shows information related to 4 ingredient amount used by Miss Norma to make kueh boko ubi. So you're supposed to find X and Y. Okay, so first of all, you can see from the table, right? Let's focus on X. X is here. The price in year 2023-24, let me write here, is X. Price in the earlier year 2021 is 20 ringgit. You times 100, your index is 108. So X will be, take 20 ringgit, 20 ringgit, 20, you just put 20, yeah, no need to put 0.00 times 108, divide by 100. My answer is 21.6, yeah, RM 21.6. Now you don't even have to write RM because this is already in RM, so the unit in this case is not important, 21.6. Okay, now next for Y, right, we focus on this one. Y is the price in the current year, in the base year. Current year is 480 divided by Y times 100, you get 150. To find Y, we take 4.8 times 100, bring the Y up, bring the 150 down, you should get 3.2, yeah, 3.2. Okay, now next they say find the composite index for the cost of making kueh boko in the year, the composite index to make kueh boko in the year 24 based on 21 is 125.3, find M. Okay, for composite index, right, remember you could take the index, individual index, we multiply with the weightage. For example, the first one, 130.5 for coconut milk, we multiply by 7. Next, 120 you multiply by M, 108 you times 2, and 150 times 1. Divide by your total weightage, which is 7 plus M plus 2 plus 1. Your composite index is 125.3. Okay, so 120M plus, let's add this up, 130.5 times 7 plus 108 times 2 plus 150. So let's work it out. This will be 1279.5 divided by M plus 10 equals 125.3. So your 120M, you plus 1279.5 equals 125.3 M plus 1253. So bring this over, this will be 5.3 M, 1279, 1279.5. If you minus 1253, you should get 26.5. Okay, 26.5. Now we divide by 5.3. You should get a nice number. M is 5. Okay. Now, next, part C. The cost of making a dozen packet of kueh boko increases by 35% from year 2024 base to the year to 2026. But the selling price, yeah, is 172 with a profit of 24 ringgit in the year 2026. Calculate the cost of making a dozen pack of kueh boko in the year 2021. Okay, so let's go to 2026 first. Remember, we have profit, right? Should I start from cost plus profit equals selling price? Okay, we do not know what's the cost in 2026. We know the profit is 24 ringgit, right? And the selling price is 72 ringgit. So your cost would be 72 minus 24, that would be 48. So in year 2026, the cost is 48. But we need to link back to the year 2021. So this is where you can use what we call the simplified chain rule. There are 3 years involved, right? First, in 2021, second one is 2024, third 2026. Now, we already know earlier, right? From 21-24, the cost increased by 1 to 5.3. So let's write 1 to 5.3 here. Then 24-26, it increases by another 35%. So 35% in index is 135. Now let's find out the overall increment here from 21 to 26. We take the 2 consecutive indices, multiply together, divide by 100. Okay, let me count. 125, 125.3 times 135 divide 100. You should get 169.16. You can round off, love. You want to write 0.155, so you can 169.16. Okay, meaning from here, we know the cost in the year 2026, which is 48 ringgit. This is from 21 to 26. We don't know what's the cost in year 21. In fact, I'm find the cost in year 2021. Then when we multiply by 100, this index is 169.16. So to find the price in year 2021, we take 48 ringgit times 100, divide by 169.16. I got 28.38. Yeah, RM 28.38. Okay, question number 14. This is from Kinematics of Linear Motion, from 5, chapter 8. So here we have a diagram that shows the initial position, direction of motion of P and Q. Both particles move simultaneously. They are moving towards each other. So the velocity of P is given by this. Vp is 3 plus 5t minus 2t squared. Okay. Then they say that the distance between VQ is given by -4. P, the distance between them is 28. Velocity of particle P, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now the particle P stopped instantaneously at C, right? Point C over here. You're supposed to find the maximum velocity of P. Okay, P has a maximum velocity when acceleration is 0. You travel until you cannot accelerate anymore. Yep, your E is 0, then you get the maximum velocity. So we have to differentiate this. Differentiate velocity to get acceleration. Differentiate 3, you get 0. Differentiate 5t, you get 5. Differentiate minus 2t squared, you get negative 4t. Then we let A be 0. We solve for t. 4t equals to 5. T is 5 over 4. Now remember, maximum velocity in this case it happens when t is 5 over 4, sub inside. So 3 plus 5, 5 over 4, minus 2, 5 over 4 squared. Now use your calculator. All right, 3 plus 5 times 5 over 4. Then you have another 2 times 5 over 4 close bracket squared. Yeah, my answer is 49 over 8 or 1 over 8 meter per second. Okay, that's my maximum velocity. All right, let's move on to B. Calculate the distance between P and Q when P is at point C. Okay, so to find the distance between them, number one, we know when P reaches point C, right, the velocity is 0. Okay, it stopped instantaneously at point C here. right? We know the velocity is 0. We let our VP be 0. Rearrange this equation so that you can factorize it. Double bracket, 2 times 3 is 6. What's the factor? We should use 6 and 1, minus and plus. So t cannot be negative half. T should be 3. Okay, so at the time t equals to 3, the particles stop instantaneously. So, but the thing is, we need to find the distance of AC. So I think I continue here. We need to find displacement function for P and displacement function for Q. Displacement function for P, we can integrate 3 plus 5t minus 2t square dt. This will give us 3t plus 5t square over 2 minus 2t power 3 over 3 plus c. Now, remember, when you start the clock, right, P is at point A. So if you want to compare the distance between them, it's actually better to use the same reference point. Normally we use point O, but here there's no point O. We take point A as a reference point. So when t equals 0, where is P? P is at point A. So the displacement of P, we let it be 0. In this case, if this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, obviously your C has to be 0. Okay, so I'm going to write C equals to 0. So your displacement function for P is 3t plus 5t squared over 2 minus 2 over 3t cubed. Okay, now also we know this happens when t equals to 3. So substitute 3 inside, find the displacement of P, 5 over 2, 3 squared, minus 2 over 3, 3 cubed. So we take 3 times 3 is 9. 5 over 2 times 3 is 5 over 2 times 9. Then you minus 2 over 3 times 27. Okay, so this is going to give us 13.5. Maybe you can write 13.5 as ninth number, 30.5. Okay, that means this SP represents the length of AC. Now, particle Q, on the other hand, it travels with a constant speed, -4, going to the left. So if you are finding the displacement function, we need to integrate -4 dt. This is -4t plus c. Okay, right? So we know when t equals to 0, Q is at point B. Now, point B is 28 meters to the right-hand side of point A. So I would use SQ equals to 28. Imagine this. If this is 28, this is 0. What's your C? Your C will be 28, right? C is 28. Therefore, displacement function for Q is this. Okay, I'm supposed to find distance between them, right? So maybe you can, up to you, you can call, maybe it's here, D. You can call this BD. When T equals to 3, SQ is -4 times 3 plus 28. 28 minus 12, you got 16. Now, this 16 is actually the distance from A to D. This is 16. A to C is 13.5, right? So to find the distance between them, we take 16 minus 13.5. The difference is 2.5 meter. Okay, 2.5 meter. So this is 16, this is 13.5. The distance here is 2.5 meter when A reaches point C. All right, lastly, form the equation in terms of T when particle P and Q meet. Now, we already have displacement function for both, okay? Displacement function for P is this. Displacement function for Q is this. When they meet, right? Let me continue here. When they meet, SP must equal to SQ. Let us write this down. 3t plus 5 over 2t squared minus 2 over 3t cubed equals to SQ, which is minus 4t plus 28. Okay, we can just rearrange, bring everything to the right-hand side. 2 over 3t cubed minus 5 over 2t squared. Minus 4 minus 3 is minus 7t plus 28. Now, we notice that all this can be multiplied by, we can simplify further. I think I multiply by 6. 2 over 3 times 6 is 4. 5 over 2 times 6 is 15. 7 times 6 is 42. 28 times 6, 168. There you go. That's the equation. We cannot solve this equation. This is a cubic function. You cannot solve it at Form 5 level. So, but yeah, college math. So in IGCSE, they learn how to solve cubic equation. Form 5, no. So we just leave it like this. There you go. That's your final answer. Okay, last question, question 15. A tuition center offers two different packages, A and K, for Form 4 student. The number of people for A and K, package A and K are X and Y. The intake are based on the following constraint. The total number of people enrolled for package A and K is not more than P. Yeah? So we have to write three inequality as usual. So package A is X, package K is Y. Not more than P means less equals to P. So we can just stop here. Right, so your inequality will be in terms of P. Now next, the number of people for package A is X, right? It's not more than twice package K. So X not more means less equals to Y. Now remember, when you shade the region, we always look at Y. You can stop here. You can rearrange to Y greater equals to X. So I know I have to shade the region above, not the region below. Okay, next, the number of people for package K is Y, must exceed number of people for package A, which is X. Exceed means Y more than X by at most 10. At most means less equals, cannot exceed. Yeah, must be less than. It can be equal 10. There you go. You got the three inequality. All right. Now, then they say the inequality, the first constraint represented by a straight line shown in the graph, right? So state the value P. Okay, so very simple. Your X plus Y less equals to P. So we know at X-axis Y0, Y-axis X0, we can do that. This is 70, right? You can see the other one is also 70. Yes. So you're supposed to state the value. So we straight away say that what's your P? P is 70. No need to do anything else. Right? If you want, you can write X over 70 plus Y over 70 equals to 1. X plus Y equals to 70. Therefore, P is 70. Yeah? Based on this, I'm using the intercept format. X over A plus Y will be your x-intercept, y-intercept. They are both the same. They are both 70. Therefore, P is 70. Now, then on your graph, you're going to draw, the graph. The two inequalities. So the first one is y equals to 2y equals x. 2y equals x, you can use a table of values. I just do over here. Even if you don't want to draw the table value, is fine. So there's no marks given for this table value. You always use x equals 0, y equals 0. And the second one, you can use any number. The graph they drawn for you. So my life is a lot easier. Don't need to draw. So you can pick, let's say 60. When x is 60, y is 60 divided by 2, y is 30. Okay, so let me draw 60, 30, 6. First line, first point is 0, 0, which is over here. 60, 30 will be here. Okay. You must pass through this point here. A bit hard to see. Okay, this one is okay. So this is 2y equals x. So the third inequality is y minus x equals to 10. So again, I use a table of values here. Let's start with x, but I can't use y0 because I can use x equals 0 when x is 0, y is 10, right? When your y is 0, then your x becomes negative. So we pick another point. Maybe I put 60. When x is 60, y is 70, right? I hope you can see that. This is y minus x equals to 10. This one is 2y equals x. Okay. When you build a table, you don't write inequality, you write equal sign because it's a straight line. We're drawing a straight line. The inequality is the shading part that we need to do. Okay, so 0, 10, 60, 70. Where is it? 0, 10 is over here. 60, 70 is up here. Now, we need to adjust this because I can see the first point is not really on the 10 there. So let me just adjust here. Second one must go higher a bit. over here, right? So this is y minus x equals to 10. Okay, so now we're going to shade the region. So where's the region? The region, now look at the inequality. First one is x plus y less equals to 70. So it's below here, or below here. Second one, you need to read your y, 2y greater than x. So it's above this line. So I know it's going to be here, right? Just confirm the third inequality. Y minus x equals 10 is below this line. So we know this is off. This is off. So your region is a quadrilateral here, right? So we just shade this, okay? This is your region of feasible solution, okay? All right. And normally we label with the symbol R. Now, after you have drawn this, they say use your graph to find the range of number of students for package K if the number of students for the range for package K is Y when package X is 20. So X is 20, what's your Y? Your Y is 10 here, move up 10 to 30. So answer, Y is between 10 to 30. Okay. All right. Next, you want to find the maximum total fees per month that can be collected if the fees per month for package K, A and K are 120 and 100. So, okay, so let me write the objective function over here. We may have to draw the graph later on, right? So one package A is 120, package K is 100, the total equals to K. K is your objective function, represent total amount fees collected. So we need to draw an objective function on a graph, but it's better to change this to y equals to mx plus c. So I know what is the gradient of this line. You see, your k depends on your y-intercept. Your k is a variable. So your y-intercept is a variable, but your gradient is fixed. Your gradient is negative 6/5. As long as I draw a straight line with a gradient of 6/5, negative gradient 6/5, right? And I move it up and down to find the maximum value, you can draw anywhere, right? 6/5. Okay, let me use a different color. Let's say blue. Yeah, draw here 6/5. This is 6. This is fine. Okay. Okay, let me adjust a bit. So you need to find a point. Oops. You need to find the point that gives us the largest y-intercept. You can move it anywhere. Okay, let me just draw this. Okay, and draw another line. Let me draw another line. The second line, I'm going to move it. I'm going to take this line. It's parallel to the first line. See? Around there, right? Okay, move it up. So find out the point that gives us the largest y-intercept. Now, if you put here, you notice this is not going to give us the largest y-intercept. The largest y-intercept is the one further to the right-hand side. You can see on this edge here. See? This point over here. Now, let's examine what is the value. It looks like 45. Look at 47.23. Okay, but sometimes when you draw, right, there might be some error, slight error. So we can see this line is the intersection between 2y equals to x and x plus y equals 70. So we can actually solve it simultaneously. X is 2y, y 70. So 3y is 70. 70 divided by 3. 70 divided by 3, you should get 23. 23.3. We take 23 because remember it must be above, it must be inside. So I think y we can take 23, which is okay, right? Which is okay. But to find x, right, if you take 2 times 23, or you can take 23.33, right? Then there's your x. Your x is 46 point something, 47. I think we can take 47, right? It looks like 47, but okay, 46.66, sorry, we cannot take 47 because 47 is outside. We have to take 46. Oops, sorry. 47 is outside. Yeah, sorry, I need to go back to that. Where's my graph? Yeah, it is 47 is outside. We have to take 46. Yeah, 47 is outside the region. Although you look at it that is, it looks like okay, right? It looks like, yeah, we can take 47, but through calculation, we figure that 47 is actually outside. So my graph is not that accurate. We should take 46, 23, which is this point. Yeah, 47 is outside. Yeah, maybe I adjust, because this line, the 70, right? You notice the 70 line, right? This is printed, photostated, right? So I mean, scan. So you can see this line is a bit off, right? That's why it affects. I guess that's how it affects the answer. The correct answer should be 20. X is 46, Y is 23. Yeah. So I prove it through calculation. When Y is 23, your X is 46, not 47. Okay. All right. So let's move down. And we know that we have identified the coordinate that gives us the largest y-intercept that would make your k largest possible maximum. So we say k is maximum at 46.23. Okay, so the maximum value of k, which is the total fees collected, will be, we take this x and y value, we sub inside your objective function. Your x is 46, your y is 23. So 120 times 46 plus 100 times 23. Yeah, 120, 46, 100, 123, 7820. Yeah, 7820. There you go. That's your answer. All right. So that's the end of the discussion for our SBP paper 2. I hope you learned something in the process, right? Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you guys in our next video. Thank you.